to another edition of MBS News. I am Dr. Janelle Charles Williams.
And I am Delicia Bonnie.
We begin today's program with a caution against informal financial schemes promising quick and high financial returns. I spoke with Mr. Derrick Benjamin of the Office of National Drug and Money Laundering Control Policy, or NDCP, who says the COVID-19 pandemic has created an environment for such schemes to re-emerge.
The present situation in Antigua and Barbuda worldwide has created some hardship with persons. Persons in these times tend to be creative and find novel ways of generating funds. It's a scheme simply because the amount that you contribute and the amount that you receive are disproportionate. The schemes that I've heard, you're receiving somewhere in the region of 8 times that which you've put in.
What are the risks of participating in such schemes?
The risk of participating in a scheme is based on just pure numbers. You are required to first get 2 persons, and then those 2 persons get another 2 persons. So you now have 4 persons. That 4 persons are then asked to get another 4 persons. That makes 8 persons. And you realize that this multiplication of individuals will create difficulty because when will it end?
So, what sort of recourse or redress for a person who participates in such a scheme and find themselves on the opposite end?
A scheme of this nature contains no guarantees. And anyone entering it must recognize that there are no guarantees from the onset. Because there are no regulatory controls, therefore there are no redress. To the staff of MBS, I would say yes, it is their money. And of course, they would have worked very hard to obtain it. The scheme will come to an end. And the dangers that exist for you not receiving your investment does exist. Therefore, you are going to be doing it at a very high level of risk. Very often, it's only those persons who enter early who may receive a benefit. So you may see persons saying, oh yes, I have received a benefit, but that will end. And you do not want to wind up at the short end of the stick where you're the one who have made a contribution and have not had a return. As I've said before, in entering a scheme of this nature, be cautious. Be truly very, very cautious.
Our local COVID-19 dashboard shows a slow progression of COVID-19 cases. To reduce our risk, we must continue to practice social distancing and proper hand hygiene. Here are some other tips to help us cope and slow the spread of COVID-19. Tip number 1. Sign up for online services to lessen the need to run out on essential errands. Services such as online banking and shopping apps like Allmart and QuickServe can help you to make more contactless transactions. Tip number 2. At home, better organize your days by scheduling activities for the family, especially children. This can create a better work, school, and life balance. Finding activities both indoors and in outdoor open spaces can help us all cope with the new normal. Finally, tip number 3. Evaluating and identifying expenses that you might stop or reduce, whether permanently or temporarily, can help to ease the financial burden until the economy stabilizes. You want to spend on only what you need. If rent and utilities are in question, consider speaking to your service provider or landlord about possible payment plans.
Very informative, Delicia. I've also used QuickServe and the service is very efficient and my meals always come hot. Thank you. And today, Nike George is in the field and filed this report ahead of the reopening of school on Lunchkit preparations.
Hi Dorothy. Thank you for joining us today. Tell us, for a preschooler, what would that lunch kit look like?
So for preschoolers, they can start with maybe some crackers, a wrap, a cold wrap, a sandwich, and an appropriate filling like cheese or tuna or it could be chicken filling. We want to encourage parents to include fillings that are not filled with preservatives, additives, and the nitrites, which have been linked to the prevalence of cancers.
Tell us, what would be in a primary school student's lunch kit?
So the primary schoolers would consume pretty much the same thing as or similar foods as preschoolers. The primary school children, we can give them larger pieces as they increase, or they can get like a salad because they are able to manipulate the salad more easily than the preschoolers.
So we spoke about the preschoolers, the primary schoolers. Now we're on to the secondary school.
We want something that's quick, easy, convenient, nutritious to eat. And so it may include sandwiches. So the student may walk to school with a burger, like a homemade beef burger, or it could be a vegetarian burger. And then they may just have the sandwich, and then they can have their whole fruit. Or they can have a salad or even both, or they may decide they can't be bothered with the salad, just walk with the fruit, but then they'll have the salad at home with the meal. They may have some vegetables with a breakfast. So, you can include your fruits and vegetables at different points of the day. If parents are not able to provide a lunch or probably part of the lunch, then what they can do is send the child to school with the fruits and the vegetables while they purchase something. So whether it's pizza or they purchase the food elsewhere, we want to include fruits and vegetables like a salad or the vegetable sticks with a dip, whether it's like a hummus dip, cream cheese, or it could be a nut dip, nut butter dip, or applesauce, a fruit sauce. Then they can have that.
Okay, so that we'll have some balance, even though they would have purchased food outside.
That's right. A snack, a heart-healthy snack, needs to be incorporated into the menu, and that would include something that does not have the highly processed foods or the ultra-processed foods as we spoke about. The heart-healthy fats, such as the fats from seeds and nuts and oils, those are healthy for the heart. And then an example would be like the stovetop popcorns rather than the microwavable ones. These are healthy, they are cheap, and they're cost-effective.
And do you recommend salt on the popcorn?
They can sprinkle some salt. Whole fruits are an excellent way to include fiber and nutrient-dense foods into the diet. Parents can also prepare muffins like pumpkin muffin, carrot, oat bran.
Dorothy, thank you so very much for your tips and for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Naika.
Back over to you, Janelle and Delicia.
Thank you, Naika, for those great ideas.
Thank you, Naika. Best wishes to newly appointed staff, Ms. June Richardson of the Pharmacy Department and Ms. Lottie Charles of the Medical Benefits Board. Welcome to the MBS family.
And as we close today's program, we remind you to eat healthy. Include fresh fruits and vegetables in your meals and drink water throughout the day. Remember to engage in at least 30 minutes of exercise daily.
It is also important to remember to wash your hands or sanitize to slow the spread of COVID-19. Remember to like and share our content on Facebook at mbs.gov.ag. I am Delicia Bonnie.
And I am Dr. Janelle Charles Williams. Until next time, stay safe.